What's up, y'all? I'm out here on the range, as you can see back behind me, on what ended up being a total cloudy day out here. Dreary, it's getting cold out here, but I've got some interesting tests done so far, and I've got a couple more planned. This one right here should be a really interesting 38 special and 357 mag test. So of course, I got the jelly contraption set up with the chronos and a couple blocks of gel here. Now I've done 2 tests in this far block. I've flipped it around to the clean part. Of course, as always, we got one little straggly piece that got in here. Shouldn't be a problem at all for this one right here though. And of course, as always, I've got the heavy clothing barrier going on with the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what I'm doing for this one here is something similar to a test I did quite a while ago between some 38 special and some 357, or maybe it was 2 different, or 2 of the same 357. At any rate, I've used this HTP before doing some testing, but I've never put these beside the 357 Magnum of the same weight and same kind. So what we got here is a couple of Remington HTP rounds. They're high terminal performance. These are semi-jacketed hollow points. The 38 special plus P, 125 grain here. As you can see, nice nickel plated cases with that semi-jacketed projectile. And then I got a 357 Magnum here, same exact weight, 125 grain. Again, nice nickel plated case with that same projectile. Now I say it's the same projectile, but believe it or not, I think these may be different projectiles unless they're just, I don't know. I think they're a little bit different. Surprisingly, I figured they would just use the same projectile in both of these, but it does look different. The jacket comes up a little bit different on the 38 special, and it's not just a one-off. I've searched through these boxes and they're all like this in the different caliber. So even the opening, the 38 special's got a smaller opening than the 357. But other than that, the case is the same other than the length. Obviously, the 357's gonna have some more powder in it, but I thought that was interesting though. It does look like they specifically changed the projectiles for a 38 special plus P versus 357 mag. So anyway, the same type and same grain weight projectile there. And what I'm gonna test them out of is a couple of shorties here. We've got the Taurus 856 for the 38 special with the 2-inch barrel. And then I've got the Taurus 605 with the 2-inch barrel also for the 357 Magnum. So this one should be really interesting. I'm curious myself to see what kind of velocity and energy difference they've got between their plus P and their 357 mag in this HTP. So let's get this stuff set up and let's find out. All right, let's see how fast this stuff's moving. We'll do a 5-round average from each one. We'll start with the 38 special first. Now, if y'all aren't familiar with this lab radar, like I always mention, you'll get multiple readings from it. Your large number is going to be your muzzle velocity, and then the 5 across the bottom, I've got them set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet. And then you've got 10, 15, 25, and 50. So let's see what these things do. The boxes had no velocity at all on either one, so I'm not sure really what to expect. I can't remember from before what this stuff was running. Let's see what it gives us, y'all. 899, 872, 858, 867, and 864. So plus P, I mean, it probably is as far as the actual numbers and technically, but it didn't feel that spicy to me. Let's check out the average. All right, our 5-round average on that 38 special plus P was 872 feet per second. We had an extreme spread of 42, so a standard deviation of 16.2. So 872, I mean, we had a high of 899, so I don't know. Again, it's probably plus P as far as the actual numbers, but it didn't really feel like it to me. Let me get it reset and let's see what that 357 mag does. All right, let's see what this 357 does. After seeing those kind of speeds, I expect there's going to be quite a bit of difference here. Let's find out. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit of difference. 1265. Yeah, that's a big difference. 1284. 1190, that one dropped on us. And 1244, and we got one more here. All right, I had to grab another round. I got an error on that last one there, so let's get this 5th one, y'all. That is some spicy stuff. 1220, so way stronger than that 38 Special Plus P. Let's check the average. All right, so big difference that time. We had an average of 1,241 feet per second, and that was even with that low one. For whatever reason, that one round was quite low. The extreme spread ended up 94 because of that, with a standard deviation of 36.9. So big difference from that 38 Special. This was 1241, and if you remember on that 38, it was 872, so that's 369 feet per second faster from that 38 Special Plus P. So it might be close in size as far as the case. There's very little difference there, and close as far as the projectile, but it sure ain't close in the speed and the energy. That being said, the 357, after seeing this, I think it's going to do really good in the gel. That 38 Special Plus P, it may have a little trouble getting some expansion out of that round, but we'll find out. Let me get this stuff set up, and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's so close but so far away jelly time. We'll put one of each into the gel, starting with this 38 Special Plus P first. If I was guessing, these things probably ain't going to expand. Maybe tumble, but I don't think I've got to worry about it going out the end down there, but I don't expect much from these things. Hopefully they'll prove me wrong, though. I think it proved me wrong by going out the side. Let me go see what I got. All right, false alarm on that. It stayed in, but just did. I mean, it was right over to the left edge. It didn't prove me wrong as far as what it did, though. It did a bunch of nothing, really. So let's see what we get out of this 357. I expect this stuff to open up just because of the velocity, but hopefully it will. Now that's more like it right there. Let's go see what we got. All right, let's check this stuff out down here, y'all. You probably noticed on that first one, that 38 Special, I forgot to turn my doggone IR lights on my chrono right here at the gel, so got an error on that, but I should have rolled in the 3-yard average, so give you an idea anyway. But ain't really a whole lot of need to worry about it, because this right here is that 38 Special Plus P. Just terrible performance, really. It comes in here, you can see no kind of expansion at all, a little disruption, but that's just because it's a projectile going through gel all the way through the first block into the second block, and actually a little over halfway through this second block, and the projectile sitting right there backwards with absolutely no kind of expansion at all. But then the 357 mag came on in to save the day. This one right here, 357 mag, nice disruption right there. You can tell it immediately expands, carries on through here. Now you got a little bit of fragmentation going on, a couple little pieces out through here, some more pieces here stuck to the jacket, and then the bulk of the lead is actually right there. You can see it separated from the jacket, but several more little fragments before that also. So as far as the penetration, this 38 Special Plus P is all the way out here at 24 3/4 inches of penetration. So definitely not what was supposed to happen with that right there. And then your 357 Magnum, it's exactly, as far as forward momentum, 14 1/4, and then you had some rebounds. So very nice performance out of that 357 Magnum. And here's your closer look again. 38 Plus P on the top, 357 on the bottom. You can tell a definite difference there, which one expanded, which one didn't. Especially once you get out here, you can see that 357. I don't know if y'all can see the little fragments, and you probably can. And then you can see right there, you got a pretty good chunk of lead still stuck with the jacket, and then the bulk of your lead goes out here. And if we switch back up, that's that 38 Plus P into the second block. And then, where is it? Right there. That's your projectile. And you can see no kind of expansion, nothing at all going on. All right, y'all, let's check out these projectiles. So this one right here, obviously, that's your 38 Special Plus P. As you can see, absolutely slam-packed full of that cloth. The denim, the fleece, the t-shirt, it's all just packed in there. So that's part of why this thing didn't expand. 357 on the other hand, you see it there. There's the bulk of that piece of lead that kept going the furthest. It was really, they were very close together. I would even be willing to say that it could have separated during the rebound. So I'm going to measure all this because it was right there with each other. That was a little bit separated, and then there's your jacket, total jacket separation, and then these pieces of lead were still right there stuck to the jacket. So let's get some measurements and see what kind of loss we had. They both were 125. Now obviously this 38, there was no loss there. This one is actually 125.2, so again, absolutely nothing lost there. And then your 357, I'm just going to put all of this on at one time. So that right there that we recovered was 97.6, so quite a bit of loss off that 357. I can still see several small little lead fragments throughout that track. And then as far as the size, obviously this 38 Special had absolutely no kind of expansion. You got 357 and 356, and then the length on it's 546. And then as far as the 357, I'll measure this bare piece of lead first. So on this we got 418 and 379, and if we measure the jacket, which is actually probably the biggest part, you got 526 and 567. So definitely the jacket the biggest part, and depending on where that's separated, it probably would have been with this big chunk of lead. So there you have it, y'all, the Remington HTP in 38 Special Plus P and 357 Magnum. Definitely not close at all as far as performance now. You know, close in case size, close in projectile, definitely close in weight, but as far as performance, they are absolutely miles apart. All right, y'all, I'm gonna call it right there for what was another pretty interesting 38 Special versus 357 mag test. Talk about night and day performance. You definitely saw it from these right here. That 357 mag was just in a whole nother league from that 38 Special Plus P. I mean, they calling that stuff 38 Special Plus P, but technically maybe it is, but it just seems weak to me. I've ran 38 Special Plus P that was way more spicy than this stuff right here, and it could definitely use some more speed. You saw it. I mean, it completely clogged with cloth. That's probably a part of the projectile design. Maybe the lack of speed is definitely a big part of it, because the 357 mag had zero issues. Matter of fact, that might be going a little too fast just because of the breakup. Now, in something like 357 mag, you still got a decent little chunk going, and with that energy, I'd be okay with that. Generally, y'all know I'm not a huge fan of just fragmentation and losing all that amount, because the Plus P Plus 9 mil that I carry, 124 grain, it gets those same speeds basically, and it stays completely together. But let me know down in the comments what y'all think about the performance from both of these. Did you expect them to be a little bit closer, or did you figure it was going to be a really wide margin like this? Let me know down in the comments what you think, and let me know if anybody out there actually carries one of these in either one of these calibers. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. If you are supposed to be subscribed, or you think you are, make sure you are. Just double check that, because people do get unsubscribed here and there for whatever the reason. And make sure you got those notifications turned on, so hopefully you get notified when I upload new stuff. If you're doing some shopping, hit up those affiliate links in the video description. Anything you buy after using those links down there, I get a kickback from them towards the channel. So that's a good way to get something you was gonna get or wanted anyway, and help out the channel, and I really do appreciate that. Once again, a big thanks to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel the way y'all do. I've got one more test I'm gonna try to get squeezed in out here, but I'll tell you right now, the temperature's dropping fast, so I got to get to it. I've got a lot more stuff planned, so be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.